4, I'm 5, and Kathy is 6.
So how do we do these minutes in attendance?
If we had Mark, it would be 7.
Yeah.
So we're leaving.
That's what I need to look.
3, 4, 5, 6. Why do I count 6?
Oh, if on the template, you don't have to.
I can call you did. Well, the reason, because Mark's name is not here, is
You
absent.
said this one.
Yes.
This must be another one. Matt, Josh, Denise.
I've got the one from
Oh, this isn't a one.
May 14th.
That's April.
Oh, we're missing you on this one.
That could very well be.
Yep.
Okay, so that's 7. So that's, I think we have 4.
LocalWorks meeting, May 28th. We're recording.
Okay.
Call to order. Everyone's here, we have quorum.
I move to adopt the agenda.
Seconds?
No objections? Okay. Moving through abbreviated meeting, any public comments not on the agenda?
Well, we have to approve the meeting minutes
Let's
first.
approve that.
I move to accept the minutes from May 14th meeting.
Second.
Approve. What's up? Any objections?
Second.
You have to say
You have
all.
to vote.
Vote it. Let's vote on that.
Right.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nobody give me the script that you're supposed to
There's no
use.
script. It's like a general.
Okay.
Mr. Roberts and whoever, right?
Yes.
So with the survey, are they all in? Last I checked, it looked like there was 483 in the Survey Monkey.
Well, the
They're
last.
not all in,
Okay, I was gonna say, Kathy took a bunch for her intern.
like a wicked lot.
Okay.
He didn't get through all of them, but he got through a big chunk of them.
So he probably has, what, 20 more, 30 more?
You know what, I didn't even look at the pile because I've just been running all day.
Yeah.
But, because today was his last day and he was sitting there on YouTube and I said, I think you have some surveys to keep going on. And so he went and did that. So, I don't know, but, so I think what we talked about, Josh, Matt, and I did a conference call on Friday to talk about the website, and what Josh had said is that we'll just split the difference and he'll take some more if they're not entered, so we can do, wrap it up at the end of the week.
I have 3 more that I'm trying to get in.
Okay.
So if we can have it wrapped up by the end of the week.
So it's pretty clear we got at least 500. Sounds like if you have 8 and there was already 583 in there.
You said 483, right?
483,
I'm sorry.
yep, 483. So we should have at least 500,
Just around.
which makes a good kind of press release,
Yeah, so how are we doing the analysis?
That's what we need to discuss. How do we want to share the results?
Well, I gotta do the analysis first.
Yeah, we have to do analysis, and my recommendation would be that the committee do the analysis and make a report or a presentation that we can then bring to different organizations like the chamber, the city council, the city yards, are sort of co-conspirators, and then at the same time, after we've done that, to make a press release to the newspapers with the presentation and like an executive summary of the notes and then the data if.
I think we should make a comments highlights video too.
Yeah, there's a lot of good comments.
Okay.
So
you have to do that and then do a press.
How are we going to do this analysis? I mean, that's kind of open-ended.
What do we get from Survey Monkey exactly?
we got limited.
All the different charts and how many people answered each question, each section, each whatever way.
It's not a complete analysis. It's only really question by question results. So it doesn't give us anything in depth for people of this group like this, people of that group want that, because
it's almost the kind of thing where people do a dissertation on this kind of analysis. What if we put out to get some grad student to help us analyze this, or some way to reach out Because I don't know that, I mean,
Well,
other
I
than
think-
you may have
I
some
think
special
that-
knowledge in that.
I mean, I think that we should start by at least preliminarily trying to do it ourselves and getting that out there and seeing how far we can go.
That makes sense.
And then at some point, you know, if we want further analysis, we can see if there's an intern. You know, sometimes people come to the planning department looking for things we may, you know. But I think that we should start doing as much as the committee can on the analysis.
So, as soon as we get all those surveys entered, we can export all the data into a PDF, and at least once the committee and the planning department start to look at it, but maybe if the planning department has examples of types of analysis that have been done on this kind of survey in the past, then maybe we could help formulate our approach to analyzing it. We're talking about the analysis of
Yeah.
the Survey Monkey.
Okay.
Do you have any suggestions of what's a good starting point, other than the raw data?
Well, that's, I mean, when I've done things in the past, I usually look at the raw data, and you can generally I think because maybe I'm spatially organized, but I can look at the words and I can sort of start seeing the trends without having it be really hard numbers. I think when you start seeing the same discussion points coming over and over again, those become quite clear. But if you wanted to do something a little bit more specific in terms of the amount of times a certain word is repeated over and over again, you know, I don't know how you go about doing that, but in my own experience, I just would go through everything and I would read, and you start to just see the trends through the
Right.
comments. But
So what Jamie was talking about, kind of packaging this analysis in a certain way so we could present it, I think that's a great idea. But maybe if we have an outline of what kinds of questions, like you said, once we start looking at this data, certain things will come into.
And you can certainly, in SurveyMonkey, I mean, you can create graphics really easily. So you can create pie charts on every single question.
Okay.
Or any other chart that you want to be able to do. And it can show you graphically what the results are for every question that has, you know, check boxes associated with it. I think the thing that sort of alerted me this morning that I think makes it complicated, and I guess I just don't know how this data is going to be, what the summary report's going to be talking about, how it's going to be used. So that's sort of my questions to you, is how are you presenting this information? But, you know, I think Jamie's the one who sort of alerted it to me that the age and the male, female, and sort of those key demographics were a write-in rather than a checkbox. And so, because normally in SurveyMonkey you can say anybody who is a male and responded to, how did they respond to this question? And if you wanted to see consumer trends on that level, in terms of age demographics or gender demographics, you know, but again, if you're not looking for that information, maybe that's not relevant to the discussion. So I guess part of my thought back to you is, what really are you looking for, and who is the audience for this information? Is it recruiting of businesses and trying to determine what businesses are missing from Easthampton, and informing the EDIC so that they can go ahead and start trying to recruit those businesses to come? Is it the shoe shops that are missing and everybody wants a shoe shop and there aren't any? Or is it a matter of trying to figure out what consumer trends are, what males in Easthampton age 50 are buying? I mean, I don't think that's really what you're looking for. So I guess it's just the question back to you is, how are we going to use this information, and let's analyze it in a way that makes the most sense for how we intend to use it. Knowing that the data will always sort of be there, and if somebody else wanted to go in and do consumer trending, they could do that, but maybe that's not what you're looking for. I don't know.
Well, it was billed as
Consumer preference.
consumer preference, so to me, is it the initial thing we want to look at is what people want?
That's what I would think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what people want and what they say they're missing and what they say they currently use.
And whether they would even buy it here, because a lot of people are like, no, I'm not gonna buy it here.
Really? I only saw surveys
really?
that said yes.
Pretty much, if it was available here, would you?
It
Well,
seems
I
a
thought
little,
that's a maybe, depends.
but
Why isn't there a maybe on your
Right.
Because that's really beside the point, but.
So I guess if you're gonna use it to determine sort of what, because it doesn't matter if they're male or female or age 14 or age 50, if everybody wants a new bakery or whatever it is,
Right.
then it doesn't matter what the demographics are.
Right.
Because it's gotta be supported on a full level of population anyway in order to be successful, right? So I would think you would want to do it at least the initial analysis using the graphics capabilities that SurveyMonkey provides you of creating pie charts. And you can do that cross-analysis, so, that's what SurveyMonkey is great for. That if there's one thing that you want to know how everybody who answered X, how they responded to question 12, then you can do that. But I don't know what, you have to sort of look at the survey and see what.
So, like just, if people make under $50,000 a year, we might see people are wanting much different things than when people make over $50,000 a year.
Perfect example. And you can do that.
Yeah. But we can't
Like I
do
said,
that.
it's almost too bad we didn't have that check off on.
On male, female.
I heard some of that, no, and you worked on that survey for how long? You were bound to not,
But you can export everything into a spreadsheet.
Absolutely.
And at that point...
And at that point, you can code it, we
You
can go and we can recode it, but then we lose the ability to get the simple graphic.
Because you can't re-upload it back to probably SurveyMonkey.
I don't believe so.
think so.
But somebody who was good at a spreadsheet could at least do those kind of
Yeah.
calculations in a raw form.
Yes, and someone who's good with statistics can go through that and
And you could even for the,
Right.
even for the section that just allowed sort of open answered, you can download all of the open answered into an Excel
Right.
spreadsheet, and then you can just do word find.
Yeah.
So if you see that there's a certain trend happening, you can just do a word find for that one word and just, it's the same thing of what the software would provide you, you just have to do the manual labor.
Right.
So the question is, are you willing to do the manual labor?
Right.
And then, again, what's the final product? Is it a summary report? Is it a presentation? What do you want people to know? What is, what does the chamber want to know? What does the EDIC want to know? What does ECA Plus want to know? I mean, ECA Plus is really interested in the results
Right.
of this,
Yes.
of this survey. So I think it's worth doing presentations to all of these different groups, saying these are the basic trends that we saw. But
And we can certainly make the whole data available to the other groups.
Sure.
but I think that the committee would want to present their findings first.
Right, right.
Say this is what our survey found before, give away the,
Well, maybe we could try to plan a meeting where we ask the chamber and the ECA and other partners to come. We can present it.
we can do one presentation to anybody who's interested in the public, just make it a big public forum. I mean, how many
Yeah.
respondents did you have?
Over 500.
Which is great, so
Yeah.
maybe you
and we
have
got
a,
a list of about 100 people that gave us their contact info, so.
right, so make it an event, have
Make an
some
event, yeah.
small bit of food, cookies
Yeah,
and
beverages.
drinks or whatever, and, make it your LocalWorks event for the year or whatever.
I think we should just put it on the city council agenda and present there. Can we do that?
I think you should do that as well.
Yeah. I mean, there may be multiple.
I like this idea of this event where it's more of, it's something that we're doing and inviting the public and our partners to get together. That sounds kind
You
of...
could even have it as a discussion, so you could present the results of the survey, and
Yeah.
then you could have like an open discussion about next steps of where you want to go, and that
That
might
could be
help
cool.
frame your
Our
agenda
next mission.
for the next year
Yeah.
of, okay, so you now have the survey, what's the top 2 things that LocalWorks going to work on over the next calendar year, Because you don't want to lose that momentum.
Right,
You now
right.
have the survey and all of this great information.
Yeah,
Let's sort of set like a work plan for yourselves.
yeah, that's a good idea.
And you can invite city council to attend. They've actually been pretty good with the meetings that we've invited them to. We have
Just in case it's there are people that show up.
yeah. So that would be my suggestion.
Yeah, that's great.
So I guess, once these final few get in,
Yeah, at the end of the week, Kathy said most of those, you'll rest those in, or do you want to just let us know when you get them in?
I will, yeah, I'll go through the file and see how many more, because Josh had said that, he's got the super system down. I never found that the tab, and I still had to use the mouse, so I didn't see what the point was, but
So we
that's
can
what
at
I
least get
meant.
all that data in and export it and distribute it amongst us, and we can start to kind of brainstorm. Hopefully by the next meeting, we can figure out a plan to do some of these things.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna take us more, not to belabor it, it's gonna, I think the analysis by everybody here is gonna take.
Right.
You can create a PDF of the document, of all of the results, and it will show you, each question and each of the categories, and it will give you percentages and numbers of who answered, then it will highlight sort of the winner in each category. So you can see really quickly what the trends are in each of your questions. And then it will you can also print out the entire all the comments, so that you will see all of that information, and you can start leafing through it, like with our open space survey, we're seeing dog. So it's like, we know that this is already something that we need to put on the agenda. I'm sure you'll probably see some of the same trends happening.
Yeah.
Great.
So if we have that, do you think we have that info for our next meeting, just to sit down and do the initial look at? No.
I think as long as we get all these surveys entered, it's an instantaneous to export it, so we should be able to get that, so at least.
But what's missing is we get the summaries, the stuff that Jessica was talking about, but we have to think about, like, how does this how does this go on to this one? How do we pull this data to tell the story?
As far as correlating the answers, you mean?
Yeah. So again, it's that, like, people who make over 50,000, people who under, how to, so we want to start seeing those other correlations and connections, where those will become. Hopefully it'll become clear as to what we need to look at.
But that can be the result of after everybody takes a look at it and can check it out, brainstorming, those type of things. That's the next step. But at least if we get it into our hands and start thinking about it by next time, then even if we haven't had a chance to really look at it, at least it's, we'll have that ready to go.
Right.
So maybe we can make a cutoff of like next Monday for get all this stuff in.
I mean, I think we can do it all by the end of the week. Does anyone else have any outstanding surveys?
No.
And I just have 8 that came in after the last meeting, but...
Right.
I mean, at some point you could just cut it off.
Right, it should be out.
Well, these were all submitted before the deadline, so we just need to get them in.
Right.
And the same with...
Right, and the survey is off of the website now, so nobody can take it
Right.
again.
And we've got no more. I mean, we were getting, like, we got like 1 or 2 scraggler replies, but like they've all stopped coming in. So, so I think the end of the week would be good, and then we can. Kathy lets us know that they're all in. We can start looking at that, and everyone should start making a preliminary. Just go through the data.
If there is any kind of template or framework for this type of study that you've done in the past that we could look at, that might be helpful as well.
Sure. Got my old Agawam plan. I mean, that's sort of...
I mean, not this instant, I'm just thinking.
I did the similar survey with the city of Agawam, the town of Agawam, a couple of years ago, and it was part of a bigger economic development report, so it was one section of this much bigger plan. And so I can certainly see, I mean, I can give you the section of the report that sort of talks about it. But again, it was part of a much bigger...
I think the stuff that we're going to be looking at is specific to Easthampton.
Yeah.
Like what Agawam was interested in may or may not be even close to what Easthampton is.
So, in your report, is that a narrative form in that report?
Yeah, it's like a planning document, so it's narrative. But again, I think you have to think about what's your format. I mean, my suggestion is to do it as a PowerPoint presentation, and then you give it, and then you can put it up on the website.
Right.
You know, it's something that people can access. It has enough information on each slide that it's not a puzzle to figure out what the message is, but, you know, again, SurveyMonkey makes really nice graphics
Yeah.
right out of the data.
Yeah.
Boom, pie chart. So you can make those really fast and easy and put them up on a slide and
That'd be great.
make something look really nice and professional and get all the information you need. So,
I have a feeling once we start looking at this, then these type of questions and the way our approach will,
Like you said,
Take shape.
we probably see stuff that'll just go boing.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Shout out.
And so that's part of your presentation. That's kind of like, okay, here's what the data's saying. Here are the holes. These are the things that we've noticed sort of are the missing links or the things that we need to address. Here's where we're really strong. We start with the positive. Here's where we're strong. Here's where we need some more work. And this is what the LocalWorks committee wants to do to sort of address these challenges.
okay.
That's how I would frame it. Here's where you're successful, here's where we have challenges, this is what LocalWorks is gonna do to meet these needs,
Okay.
and who our partners are going to be, because you can't certainly do it alone. So, working with those partnerships and figuring out.
Since you have to go in 7 minutes, can we do the website?
Let's move ahead, yeah. So we discussed,
Appreciate it.
thanks for
Okay,
popping
all right.
in.
Yep.
Thank you.
So as far as letter B, that kind of relates to how many surveys we've done. I guess by the end, we'll know how many contacts are in there. Moving on to C.
You know,
Do you want to talk about that, guy?
Well, we had a little conference call, sort of, whatever we called that.
Video call.
And we're talking about the website, and so what we came up with was maybe we should just buy a different template that's responsive, so, you know, it doesn't, you're not locked into like, no, that box has to always be here and it can never move. You know, or you have to figure out how to fill the box. And so we came up, or Matt actually found a vendor, what were they, like $40? These $40 website templates. One of them was called Gravity, another one was called Pinpoint, another one was called Nolly. And so I just wanted to bring them up from Penguin Initiatives, I think. These are super awesome, whatever, WordPress templates.
Oh,
this is
WordPress,
what-
just open.
yeah,
It's
the
a
WordPress template.
Skin that would give us a little more flexibility.
So there's a sample of what it would look like, or what it can look like.
Here's your content.
So yeah, you can have your content. So you can put like a, this also has the slideshow, so the slides pop up. So if we had, for example, Cottage Street Studio Sales coming up next weekend, right? So if we had that embedded into, we could embed that into one of these slides so that as it comes through, you know, you can just play it.
The difficulty I have with any of these theme sort of templates is hard to envision what it would look like with our logos and images.
Can I ask the
and
question,
whatnot.
why?
Why?
Yeah, I mean, we
Because-
just redesigned the website. It's been up for 6 months.
Because we
Why?
did a half-assed kind of designing, knowing that we were going to change the website. It was, we got the domain and put something up so it wasn't blank. And now we're looking at like, no, okay, now we're going to have actual
Kind of spruce it up a
content
little bit.
to spruce it up. And we allocated money for the purchase of a template and whatever we needed for the website. So this is what we came up with in terms of designing it. I mean, it just looks more dynamic. Like right now, I
What
think
do the
we
other ones
can't.
look like?
So this is Gravity, this was my favorite one, and then there was, I mean, there's quite a few of them.
I mean, there's literally thousands of templates, not all of them are,
Yeah, this was another one, Nolly. But they look like clean, simple. Here's the live preview. So it does, like, each of them has a slideshow in the beginning. So you can have multiple pictures of
Right.
Easthampton with different subject headers. So this transitions this way again. You can embed video,
yeah.
yada yada.
So it comes with the functionality of these plugins
Right,
in a
already built
simple,
in.
buildable format that looks decent. looks similar, the same on all different size device screens.
Right.
And for what, $50 to
Yeah,
get that
it was like $40 or
functionality, that
$50.
seems pretty worthwhile.
So that one was
The issue with our
nice.
current theme is that it has that big button there on the front. There's nothing you can really do in that area other than a big, kind of, they call it the call to action button, which was perfect for our survey to have on the front there. But now that we want something more general purpose, we need to get some sort of other theme, whether it's a free one or something like this that's almost free, that has kind of updated features. I think it'll make it easy for us in the long run.
Actually, Matt, can you email this out to the group and then maybe people could just take a peek?
See which ones they might like. I mean, there's thousands other, that was the
Yeah.
first thing I Googled that said, what are the top 10 of this kind of
Right.
template this year?
Yeah, and I think any of these work actually pretty well. I don't think we need to beat the dead horse
Right.
and freak out about it. Just pick, I narrowed it down to 3 in half an hour. I looked at all had like 8,000 web pages open. And those are the 3 that I liked the best. I thought were simple, interesting to look at, and had the functionality of having a slideshow. And because right now what we do is if we go to
So
Sure. Next.
on a relevant topic, so I put in the funding request that got kicked back for the SurveyMonkey upgrade.
Is that good or bad?
It's bad. So we're not going to be able to upgrade the SurveyMonkey to do that increased textual analysis. But it's fine because we can still export the data and do that in like Word or in Excel and other programs.
Okay.
The web hosting and the website stuff, we actually, the LocalWorks actually, the request for the font this next fiscal year is $400 for various web design stuff. So if we want to, we're not in a do or die
Right. This funds.
this funds. If we want to, prepay the web hosting or web
It's not due now, right? Didn't we already pay for a year as of last fall?
Right.
But
So the local work committee there's a budget request of $400 for the committee for the following fiscal year. So
that could cover something like this theme.
yeah, I mean, I think we said that the web hosting's about $90 or $100 a year, and then, so it gives us a little bit of, or it gives the committee a little bit of flexibility.
Okay.
So just to say that it's not as, we're not running up against a fiscal deadline.
the Facebook.
Why is that Facebook feed down?
Oh, no.
Because we're inside the building.
Oh, no.
We're using
Gotcha.
the school, they block.
You block Facebook? Okay.
Okay,
We
so
don't.
anyway, what we have now is we have the logo up here, right? Which is probably the only place you can put it, right? Is that?
Yeah.
So and then we have all this empty space, right? And then we have, about partners join us, news and calendar. So
Right.
these are the features that we have. The calendar, there's no news ever because we haven't put anything in it, and and the calendar's empty. So
Right.
we're thinking about like, okay, well, let's design buttons that are more flexible, that go somewhere, that, and also considering we're a volunteer committee, we have to maintain it, so make it easy.
And I guess my thought is, again, this goes back to, if we don't have the content now, we're not going to have the content later with the new design.
We
And
do,
so-
we have content, it just don't fit neatly into these categories. So
Well,
we don't really need to have these buttons, or whatever. One of the nice things about the other templates is that
a little more modular.
they're more modular, and also it's kind of like a one-stop shopping. Like you can go to the home page and find out just about anything you want without having to go to the top bar or the bottom bar, or find the minuscule contact us somewhere else. So I think it's well worth it for design. I mean, it's $40. It's not a lot of money.
I have no problems to it, I just am asking questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's user-friendly.
It's as user-friendly as WordPress is, which I've not done any back-end WordPress work, but
Okay. So, do we need to make a decision at this point? Why don't we?
I think what everybody should do is email the link, look at the 14 top ones, pick your top 3, and send them in. I just wanted to make sure that we could spend that money before fiscal year
Right.
next comes.
But what Jamie's saying, that even if it's not by next week or two, that we still have an
Right, so
allocation.
I would say let's take the time to do it right.
Yeah,
Don't worry about, if we lose if LocalWorks loses what they haven't spent for this fiscal year and it goes to general fund, it's not like there's no funding
Right.
for the next year. So,
Right, but if we're gonna publish, I kind of feel like if we're gonna publish the survey results, then we should have a website that will be friendly to that, instead of going like, click the button so the, this is
Right.
coming, or,
Right.
and how are we serving community if we can't put the PSAs that people made?
we could make this a
Yeah.
little nicer than this.
Right, but
current
if we do
format,
this, then we
so-
have to go buy a video module, plug it in, build a link to
Right.
it, so if you're gonna go through that, you might this website is pretty much at scratch.
Right.
If we're gonna go to scratch to populate it with content, then let's just get the template and,
Make it a little nicer.
Do it,
That makes
yeah.
sense.
rather than kind of doing, making your deposit after you write the checks. It doesn't really work.
So, all right, I'm gonna have to step away here.
well, when you do, the meeting ends.
Okay, so is there anything else on the budget? You mentioned that we were kicked up, we did not get the survey monkey
This got
upgrade.
sent back, so,
So we didn't get basically any of that stuff.
right, we can, I think, like I was saying, the website plugin stuff and the web hosting, we can do if the committee wants to,
Mhm.
but this got sent back for the SurveyMonkey stuff, so
And is that
it was just
too much money?
too much money for a one-time use
Okay,
expense,
okay.
so,
So it's not that it'll be, the other two items will be rejected, it's just that because they were all on one sheet, the whole thing got
Right, but
rejected.
presumably a $50 website template upgrade is not gonna get rejected.
no. I mean, that's
No.
something that the committee needs, it's something that goes for website that's going to,
Right.
for continued use well into the future, so.
Okay, so we can make do with what we have in SurveyMonkey.
Yeah, and when we pick a template and we want to do an upgrade, if it's this fiscal year, we'll use this money, if it's next fiscal
Right.
year.
So, and we don't really need to prepay 2 years of web hosting.
No.
If this fall, when the bill is due, if the city doesn't approve the budget to renew it, then they don't have a LocalWorks website anymore. I don't see that city doing
No, I
that.
mean,
Right?
the request was put in, the mayor approved the request as submitted. It's, city council is voting on all of the budgets,
Mm.
and, but it's made it through, and it just,
Okay.
it's not official yet, but it's likely.
Okay, so we don't have to worry.
No.
So
Because we have the money,
And then-
even
and then-
next year, we have the money that at least covers our.
June 5th should be when the announcement's made as to what the final budget appropriations are.
I can't see them not wanting us to have some
We'll
sort of
still
website.
have a month between June 5th, from when the next fiscal year budgets are approved, to figure out if we need to hold anything over.
Right, okay. So, when is the next meeting the second Tuesday of June?
Yes.
You love it.
The 11th? Okay.
Yeah, 3, usual.
So why don't we all kind
It'll
of,
be followed by the
EIC meeting.
EDIC meeting, so we have to be out of here at 4 again.
okay.
She was pretty good.
Why don't we all kind of CC about the survey and the results, this website issue, so we'll kind of be in contact, and then Josh and Denise get caught up.
So right now, no one's taking the lead on the survey analysis.
Well, I thought we were gonna look at it,
So everyone's going to look at it, and at the next meeting, the committee will...
then we'll move forwards and strategize how we're gonna do this, and, especially since Josh and Denise aren't here right now.
Would you like me to search the web for it? What are we all?
I think you, stop it.
Sorry.
Well, I think, all right, I see his point. We need a next step.
I mean,
We have a next step, but without,
someone has to take the lead on it, because it's not really something that I think can be accomplished very well by email, and
We have to sit down and,
we really have
I was gonna say crunch numbers, but not really crunching numbers.
What, can we?
I mean,
By this week, we'll have everything in there. Why not, at that point, we'll export it and email it out to everybody, and we can kind of summarize that we need somebody to take the lead on this, we need to do this presentation, the idea of the,
well, maybe we should have like a subgroup that meets to work on it. We can figure that out at the next meeting.
let's just work it on the next meeting, see what, then we'll get everybody here.
Yeah.
You know, everybody wants it to get done quickly, I think, and so we don't lose the momentum. There's people in town that want to see this. So I think with what Jessica gave us today, those ideas, that any of that would be great. Just need somebody to really want to organize it.
Right.
Okay.
I got approached today by by Burns, Maxie, the ECA Plus coordinator. She wants to take a look at the data specific for the questions relating to the ECA. How does the committee feel about sharing that data before we have a chance to like?
I think we should look at it first. No?
I think so. They are a partner, but I
They're
think...
partners.
I mean, this is
I'm sure she would want to help us. We could, why don't we get it all, so we have all the data, and then she could maybe she'd want to, as a partner, help us, and we can give it to her at the same time we give it to everybody else, and, you know, that she's going to help, and the ECA is going to be a part of it. And
Okay.
then maybe there would be a core of people, including partners, who would come in who want to do something. Maybe we want to say, look, don't release this to the public yet, so that, you know, that we can be part of that process in a meeting format. But I think we don't want to discourage her interest.
Well, Denise is also their representative here too, so...
Yeah, and they're writing it was asked because they're doing a final report for something, for
Yeah.
other grants, and they wanted some of the numbers and data to include in that report.
I think we should definitely help them out.
Yeah, we should do whatever we can to help them
I
out.
just wanted to
Yeah.
chat to the committee first before we...
Yeah.
I mean, I thought so too. Just-
Oh, I'm not, do I have to put that in the minutes?
All right,
No,
I'm
you can-
going to call this meeting to a close.
Sure.
Any objections?
Well, you need to make a motion.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna hit the...
All right. Sorry to have to